Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are just over a month away from Witch Queen, which means we're starting to get more and more good news and little snippets of details coming for us in the future. So, at the very start, they tell us this week we'll be talking about power, blue drops, gunsmith reputations, and some shifts and exotic sources. And over the next few TWABs, they'll be talking Vanguard reputation, a rework for Gambit, weapon crafting, Void 3.0, and others, not necessarily in that order. So, going into Straight Thing, we have a quick little 20-second preview, but they go over power and the way it works in terms of light power, and they basically clarify what floor, soft cap, power cap, and hard cap are. Basically, floor is minimum, soft cap is the is the first layer of power, cap is the second layer of power, and hard cap is the third. Hard cap is pinnacle, power cap is powerful sources, and soft cap is stuff you can earn from just any random drop in the game. And the floor, of course, being the lowest. Now, going into more things, they say starting on February 22nd, the power floor will be updated to 1350. So any player who signs in at the power levels to start the Witch Queen campaign will be 1350, even if they haven't been playing, say, for the last couple of seasons. Now, through general gameplay, people can reach a soft cap of 1500. So the soft cap would be 1500, and basically any sort of gear you find anywhere, including rare and legendary drops, will get you to soft cap. And then players will need to earn powerful rewards to get to 1550, and of course, pinnacle sources for 1560. So the highest light we'll be able to get when we get the Witch Queen and its associated season will be 1560, and of course, Rage, Trial of Osiris, Iron Banner, and other endgame PvE sources for pinnacle gear. And they do mention, let's see, there will be some there will be, of course, adjustments to the pinnacle and powerful sources just to rotate, like, since the Glycon and Prestige is going away, we won't have it as a pinnacle. Maybe we won't have Exo challenges just because it'll be another year. It'll still be a reward. It might not be pinnacle, though. Now, they go into more things about the economy and some other things will be changing. Now, beginning in Witch Queen, blue rared rewards will stop dropping from playlist activities, Crucible, Strikes, Gambit, etc. once players have reached soft cap. Players above soft cap at 1500 power in the Witch Queen will instead see a slight increased chance of receiving legendary rewards from these activities or a small amount of legendary shards. So you don't have to worry about every Crucible match if you get 2 drops or both blues. You don't have to worry about breaking those down. You shouldn't see them much more. So that was the change that they were stapling at in the last time. I thought it might have been auto-decrypt blues turned into gunsmith materials, but then this next bit will also continue. Blue weapons and armors will continue to drop from enemies and chests while playing Destiny 2, but we hope that these will reduce the need to manage inventories. Now, that is basically what this little GIF is basically saying. We don't need to worry about as many blue engrams. They'll still drop from some sources, but not the usual ones we see them to. Now, as well as gunsmith reputation, Banshee is getting a rep system just like Zavala and Shaxx. This means we are moving some associated materials, including gunsmith material and weapon telemetries, will no longer exist. Players now earn reputation rank with dismantling legendary and exotic weapons and armor and completing gunsmith bounties. Now, players will want to spend their gunsmith material and weapon telemetries at Banshee 44 before February 22nd of 2022. So, spend some time burning all those gunsmith materials, as well as mods and mod components. We will be removing mod components from the game, starting with Witch Queen, and armor mods sold by Banshee and Ada will respectively no longer require mod components to purchase and will instead cost 10k Glimmer each. Furthermore, as part of this update, we're increasing the number of mods available at each vendor at a single time from 2 to 4, so there'll be more mods available at each of these vendors. Now, before we move on, there are ghost mods that will no longer be available. All of these ghost mods will no longer be available just because of the fact that we don't have telemetries anymore, so you don't need them. Now, as well, Rahul is taking over a few things. Now, basically, Rahul will also take Enhancement Prisms and Ascendant Shards. They won't be sold from Banshee or Ada anymore. Rahul will have these for you. So Rahul is actually becoming more and more important nowadays. In addition, they talk about, let's see, exotic news. Master Rahul will also be able to decrypt Umbral Engrams coming up, so players will not need to hop between Helm and Tower just to decrypt Umbral Engrams. But if you wish to focus them still and still make them into seasonal specific weapons and armor, you will still need to go to Helm. You can just plain decrypt them at the Tower, but need to focus them at the Helm. Now, Hawkmoon and Deadman's Tale, as of February 22nd, the associated message for each of those exotics will no longer be in the game. So these 2 weapons will show up as a part of Xur's inventory each weekend. That is an important detail. A lot of people were concerned about how we could also get new rolls of these if the sources were no longer there, but there's your option. Now, every week Xur will offer a unique roll for both of these weapons to be purchased for all players that own Beyond Light for the following materials: 1 Ascendant Shard, 1 Exotic Cipher, 125,000 Glimmer, and 200 Legendary Shards. It is a bit pricey, but you've had plenty of time to get rolls of each of these weapons. Granted, if you had just come along, that might be a bit steep, but it is still a way. It is definitely manageable. You just need to spend some time going for it. Now, exotic catalysts. This is an important detail. The Hawkmoon, Dead Man's Tale, and Agar Scepter catalysts will be moved into playlist activities, strikes, Crucible, Gambit, as well as various other things for completions. Complete these activities and you'll be given a shot to earn those at random. Now, there are a few others catalysts that are returning that have been absent. The full list of things going to playlist activities are Hawkmoon, Dead Man's Tale, Agar Scepter, Outbreak Perfected, Whisper of the Worm, and the Fourth Horseman. All of these catalysts were not in the game currently. Come Witch Queen, they'll be relocated to playlist activities, so if you seek any of these 6 catalysts that you did not have before, you can just run Strikes, run Gambit, run Crucible. As long as you're finishing out the match, you will have eventually collected all of these formerly no longer accessible catalysts. Now, they did say as well, Outbreak Perfected has been adjusted. Outbreak and Whisper have both been adjusted for completing their catalysts, so they can be completed without access to the original activities, as they were both specific to the shared activities. As well, they do give us a time for World's First Witch Queen Raid race. It starts at March 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific, or just resets on that day. So, that is 2 weeks, I believe, away from the start of Witch Queen. We'll have 2 weeks to go for it, or at least a week and a half. A week and a Friday, let's say that. So, of course, that is World First Raid. If you have not seen, they'll have additional details on contest mode, the Bungie rewards, and other known information closer to the date. Until then, get in those time off requests. If you're still in school, we do not advise taking sick notes from doctors or allowing your parents to stay home, go to class, do your homework, ace those tests. Be a good student. I'm definitely taking at least a half day. Now, some hot fixes that I won't be covering, but things that are important. Wish Ender ornaments can now work again in the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. Players will no longer be trapped outside the encounter if they are dead outside the crystal tunnel when the encounter begins. The Ogre damage phase is a little bit more consistent when depositing enough Cursed Engrams, and we finally have a name for them, Cursed Engrams, and reverted colorblind settings, so those should be good. Now, known issues when first spawning into the area of activity, some hand cannons sometimes don't have ammo, and the Dares of Eternity's game streak now gives a maximum of 125 points per completion. That is a known issue. That is something that they will hopefully get to soon. And I have noticed that. Some people have been spawning and just instantly reloading. Now, that is every detail. There's more movies as well as art of the week. That does look very nice there. And as well, there's just random picture shacks. Now, they do clarify a few things. Iron Banner bounties will not be removed at the end of our current season, as well as bounties acquired and completed at any point during the season will be retained after the Witch Queen releases. So if you want to keep Iron Banner bounties to Bounty Horde, you can. But, as an important note, bounties retained from season loss will be capped at 1350. It will not be a jump on power, it'll just be a little XP boost. And it will not give players any bonus power as well. Or that's what I just said. These bounties will be removed at the end of the season after, however, as Saladin will be taking his turn in our rollout of vendor reworks. So, you can keep them over one season, but you won't be getting the next. And as a final note, because I have you here, our final Iron Banner of the season will be during the final week of Season Lost, which will be from the, quick math, 15th to the 22nd. So that is the last Iron Banner. I don't know if we're going to have any more until then, but that is the last Iron Banner. Important note. Now, as well, seasonal bounties related to Season of the Hunt, Chosen, and Splicer, and Season Lost will be removed at the end of the season. Bounties from the Tangled Shore destination will be removed at the end of the season. Some daily bounties from general activities or destination may be removed depending on objective or reward balancing on a per bounty basis. Example, a handful of Drifter and Gunsmith bounties are being looked at alongside some vendor work. Oh dear, did we just confirm Drifter is getting a pass? Well, that shouldn't be a surprise. We are tinkering with Gambit in Season 16, more on that in a future TWAB. So that's what they said before. Gambit will be getting a rework that hopefully might improve it. Somehow Gambit might be getting improved. Now, rule of thumb, if you do not want to lose your rewards, we highly recommend you turn in bounties before a new year of Destiny content hits the servers. While some of you are looking to rank up your artifact a bit faster than the others, we expect many of your mod unlocks to come from completing the campaign and jumping into quest activities afterwards. Take your time. You'll unlock all the goodies, we have no doubts. Thank you for stopping by for another TWAB. Next week, Hippie will take the reins again for her second TWAB. Until then, see you in the wild. Cheers from DMG. So, lots of important stuff, lots of good details to go through. Of course, like I said, power cap has been confirmed. The world's first raid date release has been confirmed, even though it's pretty much assumable for the weekend after the first week, or the Friday after the first week. Now, of course, there are other things that were quite a surprise. Of course, Hawkmoon and Deadman's Tale will be available from Xur. You just gotta have the right currencies, as well as Catalyst being reintroduced into the world. Honestly, I didn't expect that. I haven't heard anything. I honestly thought Fourth Horseman might have still been in there, but apparently it wasn't. That was only available from Season of the Worthy. And as well, just other things, blues. Honestly, I thought blues were going to be the big details, but that was very small. What does that mean? Thank you for watching. My name is Matt Scorpion, and that is everything to do with the TWAB on this January the 20th, and I will see you in the next video, which will probably be a reset, but who knows, it might be some Rainbow Six Extraction. More coming soon.